Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group six, and we will give a presentation, and the type is homeschooling for kids. Is it the best alternative for parents? O- Okay, and this is the member of our group. You can read it by yourself. To certain time, let's move to the presenter. Wanitika, time and floor is yours.
So, issue diagnosed with leukemia or blood cancer when he was 10 years old. Sutri Lasari had to undergo treatment for up to 15 years. He had to leave friends and school for 3 years. He often received bullying from his friends who don't understand about his disease condition. Sutri Lasari does not continue homeschooling after his courage emerged. Sutri Lasari's parents allowed him to go to school like an ordinary child. However, Sutri Lasari had to use a stick to go to school. Lavmanji 1998 state that homeschooling occurs when a child participates their education at home rather than attending a public, a private, or other type of school. How is homeschooling in Indonesia? Homeschooling in Indonesia is legal. Article 7 of the Home Indonesian Education Law, Undang-Undang number 20 years 2003, give parents the right to select how to educate their child. The family who are turning to homeschooling want a more flexible curriculums that allows children to learn at their own pace.
There are three system of homeschooling. One, single homeschooling. It is the parents who teach the children everything themselves. They use the service of professional teachers to teach their children then when they are busy. Two, compound homeschooling, performed by several families together. Can be one house, can also take turn to their respective homes. Note, single homeschooling and compound schooling include informal education. And then homeschooling community. This is non-formal education. So there is a foundation. The learning atmosphere is very fun because in class only contains a few students.
Okay, and this is the positive of homeschooling. Then the first is academic flexibility. Homeschooling can work whether a child is ahead, behind, strong-willed, creative, challenging, quiet, give, or active. And the second, parent choice of pace and approach. The parents in charge of the schedule, grade level, learning approach, curriculum, and in the most place, even graduation. And the third is meeting current needs. The parents can prioritize a child's mental, emotional, behavioral, and physical health. And fourth, warm family environment. Family is the best foundation for social development as well as values and faith development. And five, community involvement. There's a generous time for service, community activities, volunteering, and entrepreneurship. And the sixth, efficient, efficient learning allows student-teacher ratio without waste time and busy work. And seven, meaningful learning. Avoid teaching to the testing mania in general and arbitrary minimal standards. And eight, time for the stuff many schools cut. You can make time for play, the outdoors project, the art, and real experiments. And nine, getting into college, a great transcript with less stress and burnout. And 10, accommodating to special situations. Homeschoolings work well for military families, families who travel, and families contending with illness and challenging work schedules. And the last, legal tense. Homeschooling is a way of meeting compulsory attendance law in every state in the US and in many countries. Okay, next slide.
The negative of homeschooling. The first is lack of social skill, interaction, and increased sense of isolation. In homeschooling, this does not provide a possibility of sitting next to their friends in school, like schoolmates, and it makes the students to have a few social relationships. The second is absence of curriculum. In homeschooling, uh, it have a different curriculum that differs from the actual school, and uh, in homeschooling, the curriculum, the student and the family will decide it by themselves. And the next is decreased learning and concentration. Uh, in homeschooling, uh, the student uh, will mostly uh, lack of unbiased monitoring, and it will make a great chance that the student will lose their concentration and reduce their outcomes of learning. And the next is students will relax. In homeschooling, the students mostly will more relaxed than in the actual school. So the students, of course, will be not receive the uh, perfect benefits from homeschooling. Uh, the next is slower pace of learning. In homeschooling, learning from home is a lack of qualified teachers that the students need. So, in homeschooling, the learning pace will slower than the actual school. Next is financial burden. Financial burden in homeschooling is the most problems because of course in homeschooling the bill will more higher than in a regular school. Next is lack of facilities. In homeschooling, the home may not be not good equipped with tools and uh, learning tools like maybe board or something. And in homeschooling, of course, the teacher and the families need to provide the facilities by themselves.
There are 10 reasons why homeschooling is better than traditional school. First, time efficiency. In a traditional school, there's a lot of time and was then you lose time checking attendance and homework. You also lose time moving from one classroom to another. With homeschooling, you can use this time for other things such as studying. Second, flexibility. During the pandemic, a part of homeschooling, many people discovered the pleasure and advantage of remote work. But what if you have kids? Well, you probably guessed it. Third, personalized curriculum and individual approach. When homeschooling your child, they can study what interests them, and you can adapt the curriculum to their learning style. Homeschooling is naturally child-centered, and you're the one that knows your child best. Fourth, safe environment. Homeschooling gives you and your child peace of mind. If your child has been a victim of bullying, homeschooling is a great option. Fifth, five, parent-child bonding. With homeschooling, you don't only play a critical role in your child education. You also strengthen the bond you two have during your children's formative years. And 6, less emotional pressure. Homeschooling brings mental health benefit. Some kids get every anxious in traditional educational system from continuing testing, overwhelming homework, peer pressure, and grades which can all become too much at some point for more sensitive kids. Homeschooling provides emotional freedom. Dress however they want, wear whatever haircut they want, and be passionate about music or books. 7. More confidence and independence. Contrary to popular belief, homeschooled kids don't lack any important skill. It's actually the opposite. 8. Base for students with learning disabilities. While homeschooling, you can focus on what is important. You can try innovative solutions and make the whole process easier. 9. Time for patience. Homeschooling shortens the study days, as I explained earlier, and give you absolute flexibility so you can fit extras into your daily schedule. The last, better than socialization. Is it a myth that homeschooled kids lack social skills? On the contrary, homeschooled kids learn how to interact with people outside their age group and feel comfortable with all types of relationships.
Okay, thank you for the presentator. Now is the conclusion about material above. There are many considerations that must be evaluated before placing a child in homeschooling, like whether children really need homeschooling. If so, are parents ready to be involved in the homeschool learning process? Homeschool can be an option for parents, but it's not necessarily the best. So the choice whether you choose a homeschooling or not is on you as a parent. And thank you. That's all for the presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.